please keep in mind that recovery is going to look different for everybody. I'm not a doctor, and I'm just giving you a lot of my personal opinions and things that I've either had conversations with other people about or have discussed with my doctor. So please take that into account as you're taking some of my tips and tricks and advice. Introductions are actually kind of hard. They're a lot harder than they look. That's good. I am absolutely 100% feeling myself right now. I haven't gotten a haircut in weeks, and I'm super hype about this because I can actually go outside now. I can do things in public. I know a lot of you might not understand kind of this plight of a black man without a hairline thing, because you're not black. But if you were, you would know exactly what I'm talking about. I felt like this week was the perfect week to start this YouTube journey. I have surgery coming up on Friday. Ever since I moved to Bermuda 2 years ago, I've been training javelin. But recently I had a lot of pain in my elbow, and there's a nerve that kind of runs on the outside of your hand all the way down your elbow and kind of into your shoulder. It's called an ulnar nerve. I kind of messed it up. So they're cutting me open on Friday. They're moving the nerve from like in that little ridge right there in between the bones to the outside on top of the muscle. So it's a whole procedure, but I'm excited. Anyways, not to get off on that, but let's go do some stuff. Right now, my sister's taking me to the hospital so that I can get my procedure done. It's gonna take about 4 hours in total. Hopefully everything is smooth. I know that they were talking a little bit about soreness and how, you know, I might feel a little bit of anesthesia for the rest of the day. But I'm a tough cookie. We'll see how this goes.
Okay, it'll be fine.
Okay, I appreciate that. I appreciate that a lot. Hey, I'm back. The surgery was absolutely insane.
My final note. Yeah, I can get the big one. No, oh, I'm halfway there. It's okay.
Can you see this? Yes. That was the most insane thing ever. I don't understand how there are actually people who get paid a living to just cut other people open all day long. They literally walked me into the surgical room, and I'm looking at all the dangling lights. You know, it's looking like something out of a Marvel movie or something in CSI Miami or something. They lay me down on the table. They start sticking all these IVs and needles in me. You know, my anxiety's through the roof. I could feel my like heartbeat meter pressure thing just like ticking away, and it's doo 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 doo. Next thing I know, you know, the doctor comes in. He's like, you know, drawing on me where he's gonna do the cut. Boom, out, gone. Then I'm waking up in a bed, and the anesthesia hit me hard. I'm just looking around and got some random nurse talking to me. How do you feel? How do you feel? Well, I feel bad. Look, all that to say, Bermuda Hospital, Dr. Oleg Sack, all the nurses that took care of me, that was the best first and hopefully last surgery experience that I have ever had. The staff at the hospital were even thoughtful enough to bring me coffee and cookies after my surgery. It was definitely the highlight. My arm is a little bit numb and tingly, like my pinky and my ring finger. They feel weird, but other than for that, I feel pretty good. My first and probably most important advice to you is to continue taking whatever medicine that your physician prescribes you. When I was taking Tramadol, the hourly recommended dose was every 4 to 8 hours. I decided to go with 4 hours simply because I wanted to make sure that my body was topped up on the medication so no pain crept in. In the coming days, there's a good chance your hand is going to swell up. Mine turned just a tad pink. Don't freak out. Just continue to monitor it and make sure that there's no major discoloration. My advice, ice and do your hand exercises. What they tell you is typically within that first week, try to touch your thumb to your pinky, your thumb to your ring finger, thumb to middle finger, and then finally thumb to pointer finger. And continue on like that for the first week or so. Don't push yourself. Don't really try to make a fist. Don't try to do more than what your body allows you to do. In my first 4 to 5 days, I wasn't able to get even close to touching any of my fingers because my hand was just so big. So keep that in mind. After about a week and a half, the swelling is going to start to go down. But you're going to begin to notice other symptoms going on with your hand. The outside palm of my hand, my pinky, and my ring finger were noticeably numb a couple weeks after the surgery. What I did to correct this was I just simply continued to massage and rub on the extremities until over time they began to feel better. I can't recall a time where I had a lot of pain in my fingers or the palm of my hand. This might surprise some people, but I do remember having a lot of pain in my shoulder, and this was actually due to the sling. The human body isn't designed for the muscles to be bent in that way for such a long period of time. It honestly woke me up in the middle of the night several nights in a row, and it just made sleeping uncomfortable. When you can, try to take the sling off to alleviate a lot of the pressure that has built up in the arm due to it being forced into this position. On the outside of the elbow, I was having extreme numbness, which was also kind of bleeding into the forearm and the lower portion or the crown of the elbow. It didn't go away, and quite honestly, it hasn't gone away since the surgery. Now several weeks out, and it's something that I've had to continuously contend with. Like you kind of do with the outside palm of your hand and the pinky, continue to rub on it, continue to slightly massage it to try to get some blood flowing in there. You have to be patient with the recovery process in terms of this extremity because it's gonna take time. Here are some of the key takeaways that I was able to come up with 21 days after my ulnar nerve transposition surgery. I'm an athlete. I come from an athletic background. I've literally been training since I was a kid. So whenever I realized that I couldn't go to the gym the first 2 to 3 weeks, I was heartbroken. So what did I do? I continued to go on walks with my sister. We would find time at some point throughout the day and we would just up and go. Then when the time came and my doctor said I could start to up my intensity, I kept the sling on, but I made sure I was doing exercises that weren't necessarily targeting my upper body. I did a lot of core work. I was making sure that I was doing medicine ball stuff, getting on Bosu balls and doing crunches, or just doing body weight core work so that my midsection could feel a lot of that intensity and slowly start to build back some of the strength. Squatting is probably one of the more dangerous exercises that you can do. If you squat too low, you might bump your arm. If you squat too high, you're not going to get an effective workout. So make sure that you're picking weight, or in the best case scenario, just using the barbell to just slowly start to go down, hold the pause, and then come back up. This will make sure that you're not going to bump into your elbow and cause any shooting pain to go up through your body. Definitely do not recommend that. Whenever you begin to bend your arm around week 3 and you're taking it out of the sling more regularly, make sure that you're being mindful of your forearm muscle. Remember, the doctor cut it in half so that they could put the nerve underneath and then sutured it back together. So you're gonna have some issue with rotating it interiorly and exteriorly. I don't know the medical term for that. Remember, I'm not a doctor. But just take your time with this. Make sure that you're opening up the palm of your hand and rotating it and turning it in and out. We'll get to that in a later video. So what are some of the key takeaways that I want you to get after watching this video. First of all, a lot of the pain that you experience is going to be dependent on the surgeon that ended up doing your ulnar nerve transposition surgery. I know in my particular case, the gentleman who did mine was very gentle. He didn't cut a lot of the nerves. He wasn't digging around in there. He just went in, moved the nerve, and then everything was pretty smooth. Sewed me up, and I moved on to the next point. So depending on what surgeon you get, male or female, years of experience, or right out of medical school, that is going to dictate how much pain you're going to have in the weeks and months to come. Also, I think it's really important. The sling situation is gonna probably cause you some issues. So make sure that you're constantly, especially 14 to 21 days out, taking the sling off, using pillows in between your arm and your stomach, or even surrounding the elbow with a lot of pillows so that you can't bump it around, but also so that it's relieving a lot of the tension that the sling is causing your shoulder to have because it's been bent in that position for such a long period of time. I definitely think that that's one of the most important things because I wasn't getting a lot of sleep in my soft cast. I think one of the more undervalued things that people don't pay attention to is your diet, calorie intake, fruits and vegetables, all the stuff that you're putting in your body. I think some people get a little bit lazy and they overeat, and some people might not eat enough. My mother's a nutritionist, so I'm just going off of her word. It's really important for you to be putting a lot of that fuel back into your body so that your muscles and tendons can mend themselves after such a traumatizing surgery. So definitely don't sleep on the amount of calories and food intake that you have in the coming weeks. In my case, I was taking a bunch of protein. I'm an athletic guy. I come from a track background. I ran track and field for NC State. So I know the value of making sure that you're putting all that fuel back in your body. So I was putting everything in. But also, I was making sure that me and my sister were going out on walks. We were getting our exercise. I was keeping my sling on, but just making sure that I was kind of staying in that routine of doing things that are gonna keep me healthy and happy, not only physically, but my mental state as well. If you have a significant other or a loved one at home who's willing to help you out, make sure that you're having them wash the dishes for you, pack up your clothes, fold things, even helping you take clothing off, putting shirts on and off, all those things, because you're not gonna be able to close that hand for a couple of days. So it's really important that as you're letting everything set back into place, that you're having loved ones and others who care about you pick up a lot of that slack that you're not going to be able to do for those first 21 days or so. If you've made it with me this far into the video, I just want to say thank you so much. It's taken weeks and weeks and weeks for me to kind of compile all of this stuff together to get it here for you. I know the storytelling might not have been as smooth as some people might have liked it to. It's definitely something that I'm working on. But if you appreciated the video, please hit like, comment, subscribe. It really does help me a lot. If you would like a follow-up video that kind of tracks me through the 4th to 8th week, please put it in the comments. Please let me know exactly your thoughts, your concerns, everything that you need, because I want to continue to make videos like this so that you all can take things away and make sure that you're just sleeping a little bit better at night. I am going to continue making videos on this YouTube channel. I am going to be focusing more on food. I really like eating. It puts a smile on people's faces, and also just kind of my athletic journey as I'm training for the next Olympics and going through my professional athletic career. So if that's stuff you're interested in, just blogging and slice of life stuff, this is definitely going to be the channel for you. I really hope that you enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for watching. And with that being said, I guess it's about time for me to get a haircut.